everyone. I'm sure a bunch of you watched that Tesla Robot event with Optimus. And, well, I don't know about you, but I had some questions.
Yeah, it definitely got people talking.
Like, Optimus is walking around, picking things up, even, like, jogging a bit. And I'm thinking, whoa, is this thing for real?
It's healthy to be a little skeptical, especially with AI. The line between what's real and what's, well, a bit of clever programming can be pretty blurry.
Right. Like, is it actually AI or just someone behind the scenes pulling the strings, especially with all the rumors about it maybe being teleoperated? There was this video that stuck with me. Someone joked to a robot, "If you're ever for sale, I'll take two." And the robot actually turned its head, said, "I'm sorry." The person repeated themselves and the robot goes, "Thank you."
When you come to market, I'll take two.
I'm sorry. What?
When you come to market, I'll take two.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I remember that. It was wild. Even compared to those AI chatbots everyone's going on about now, those robots seemed like next level. It made everyone wonder, if Tesla's really cracked the code on human-like robots, why aren't they shouting it from the rooftops?
I know, right? It's strange. You'd think this would be the biggest tech news of the year, but it's been quiet. And that lack of transparency, well, it's just fueled more speculation.
So some people are saying those robots might have been remotely controlled, like not really AI at all.
That's the rumor, at least. Wouldn't be the first time a company used a little, let's say, theatrics to make their tech seem even more impressive.
Think back to Sophia, that humanoid robot from Hanson Robotics. For a while there, she was everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah, Sophia. Giving interviews, on magazine covers. It felt like she was about to take over the world or something.
And a lot of people, even experts, were saying, hold on, this seems a little too good to be true.
And they were right to question it, right? I mean, I remember thinking Sophia was super impressive at the time, but looking back, there were definitely some red flags.
The way Sophia was presented, it gave a lot of people this idea that AI was way more advanced than it actually was. It was still years before the big breakthroughs we're seeing now with things like, those large language models.
Right, right. So Sophia was more like a really sophisticated chatbot dressed up as a robot.
Pretty much. It was more about theatrics than truly intelligent conversation. And that's where things get interesting. If it wasn't really that advanced, why go through all the trouble? What did Hanson Robotics have to gain from, creating that illusion?
Good point. Like, what was the motivation behind making Sophia seem so human-like?
Well, Jan LeCun, a big name in AI, a Turing Award winner even, had some pretty strong words about Sophia. He called her, and I'm just quoting here, complete bullshit.
Wow. Complete bullshit. He didn't hold back. But for someone like him to say that, there had to be something that really rubbed AI experts the wrong way. Like, what set off those alarm bells for them?
Sophia, she was kind of a distraction, like this shiny object that took attention away from where AI really was at the time.
So it was more about the hype than the actual tech. But why go through all that trouble? What's the payoff for a company like Hanson Robotics?
Well, think about it, right? AI, it's the hot new thing everyone wants in. And for tech companies, especially startups, there's this pressure.
Pressure, too.
To impress investors, get them excited, maybe throw some cash their way. And how do you do that? Headlines, buzz, the drill.
So it's like fake it till you make it, but with like millions of dollars on the line.
Sometimes way more than millions.
Yeah.
And, it's not always malicious. Sometimes it's just optimism getting out of hand. Plus, the media loves a good robot story.
Right. Who doesn't love a robot story? But it does make you wonder, what happens when the hype dies down and the AI doesn't quite live up to the,
The promises.
Exactly. What then?
Well, sometimes you get Theranos. Remember them?
Yeah, Theranos. Wasn't that the blood testing company?
That's the one. They promised they could do all these amazing tests with just a tiny drop of blood. Investors ate it up.
And it turned out.
The tech just wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was all smoke and mirrors. Elizabeth Holmes, the founder, she ended up convicted of fraud.
That's wild. So it's a slippery slope, right? One minute you're showing off a talking robot and the next you're
facing jail time. Yeah, you can go there. And it makes everyone skeptical, even the companies doing legitimate AI research.
Makes sense. So how do we, regular people who don't live and breathe AI, how do we know who to trust? What are the red flags? It's kind of scary, honestly. Like, how are we supposed to know what's real and what's, BS?
Well, it's all about asking the right questions. Like with Theranos, people just got caught up in the excitement. No one really stopped to ask, how? How are they doing this?
So don't just accept the headline. Dig a little deeper.
Exactly. Look past the buzzwords. Revolutionary, game changer, all that. What's the actual tech behind it? Who's developing it? What are the credentials?
Right, like do they actually know what they're talking about?
Exactly. And check the source, too. Is it a peer-reviewed journal article? A reputable news outlet? Or just some company's website trying to hype up their product?
Okay, so be skeptical, ask questions, check the source. That makes sense, but it still feels kind of daunting, you know?
It is. AI is a moving target. It's evolving so fast. But that's why it's so important to be informed, to be critical thinkers.
And not just take things at face value.
Right. Because AI, it's powerful stuff. It has
Yeah.
the potential to change the world, but we need to make sure it's changing it for the better.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Well, that was a lot to process. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime.
And thanks to all of you for listening to this deep dive. It can be overwhelming, all this AI stuff, but remember, stay curious, ask questions, and don't be afraid to be a little skeptical. Until next time.